Most relationships come to this crisis point: stay or leave. Sometimes it takes 6 weeks, 6 months, or 6 years, but the deeper you are, the more difficult it can be to discern what's right. How are you supposed to know when it feels like your mind and heart are at war with one another? By the end of this video, you'll have a simple framework that I give all my clients to help you make this decision. If you master it, it can save you months or even years of your life by helping you feel confident enough to leave the wrong relationships or to stay in the right ones and work through whatever issues are making you want to leave. Now, this framework comes down to 3 parts that I want you to sit with after you watch this video. Each are essential building blocks, but the third part is the one that almost everyone is missing, and it's the key to unlocking clarity. For each part, I'm going to give you the tool, how to apply it, and at the end, we'll put it all together. Now, before I get into the first step, all relationships must have 4 key ingredients in order to thrive: admiration and respect, love and enjoyment being together, shared values and goals, and emotional availability. I have another video on spotting signs of unavailability. If you haven't watched that yet, you can click here and come back to this one. If you're missing even one of these ingredients, resentment tends to accumulate, and resentment is a silent relationship killer, so don't let that happen to you. But so often I see people misread signs of misalignment because they have a deeper fear of abandonment or rejection. So when your head and heart are at odds with one another, discerning whether it's your intuition or protective attachment patterns is partly cognitive and partly felt in the body. Now, let's get into what I call the relationship clarity framework. The first part is called 7 layers deep. What you're doing here is identifying your deepest fears, like worst case scenario. Because most people who are stuck in this place of ambivalence are operating out of fear. Fear of leaving a good relationship and regretting it, or fear of staying and missing out on their life. But let me tell you this, the life and relationship that you dream about isn't going to be built on fear. So maybe you're afraid of letting go of a great person and regretting it. Ask, then what? Then what? Then what? Then what? 7 layers deep until you get to the core fear, and then ask, when was the first time that I felt this? This is what you're really avoiding. Not losing this person or an opportunity, but feeling something that you are avoiding. The only reason we do anything in this life is to avoid feeling one thing and move towards feeling another. Understanding this is the key to releasing your fear. The second part is called crafting your roadmap. Remember the third ingredient that I mentioned that all relationships need? Shared values and goals. So that means know your values, like what is really important to you. And what most people do and where they go wrong is they say, yeah, I know my values, but don't just know it up here. Put it down onto paper, write them out, list them as like bullets. And then once you have them listed out, write exactly how you're going to support each and every one of these values. Then, and this is the most important part of this step, inventory what you actually do every day and each week. Make a list of your habits and behaviors, and then assess which of your values does each of these things support. You might find that you're egregiously out of alignment with yourself, that you're not putting your money where your mouth is. Or you may find that the relationship is out of alignment with some or many of your most important ones. And so anyone who's feeling lost or unfulfilled in their life or relationships needs to do this step. This becomes the roadmap for your decision making. This is how you frame the conversations that you're gonna need to have one way or another before you feel confident enough to stay or leave. Now, a lot of people might do the first 2 parts, but the third part is where most people go wrong. It's called learning your compass. Listen to your body. That's where your intuition lies. Understandably, this is the one that most people struggle with. They'll ask, how do I know if it's my intuition or attachment patterns? And I'll say, well, do the first 2 parts first, but then stop invalidating and gaslighting the wisdom of your own body. Your body is the key. It holds answers that your rational mind can't possibly compute. It's why your stomach tightens right before you receive bad news, or your body feels heavy as you drive to a job you hate, Or you have this sinking pit in your stomach every single time you think about the relationship that you know you need to leave. It's the teacher who's literally giving you the solution, but you're the student who doesn't want to listen because of the work that it will entail and the feelings that you'll have to feel. And so the first step here is increasing your somatic awareness, your awareness of the sensations happening in your body. And great ways to accomplish this are by practicing meditation, doing really simple breath work. I'm a big fan of yoga because of how it orients you to the functioning of your body and all the different sensations that can arise. It doesn't matter how you do it, you just need to spend time feeling, not thinking, feeling. When you feel like you've got this down, you can visualize both scenarios, staying or leaving, and notice how your body reacts. But try not to judge or label the feeling, just feel it. That's why I say listen to your body, not analyze it. Okay, that's the framework. Now let's put it all together. The 4 key ingredients that every relationship needs to thrive are admiration and respect, enjoyment being together, shared values and goals for the future, and emotional availability. And if you have these 4 qualities, but you still feel unsure, then you need to use the relationship clarity framework. It's 3 parts. First, 7 layers deep. Identify your fears. Second, craft your roadmap or know your values. Third, learn your compass. Listen to your body. The third part is the biggest key, but it can be impossible to discern if you haven't done the first 2. Now, with this framework, you've got a roadmap for your decision making. You've identified where your fears are on this map, and you know how to use your compass to guide you when things feel a little bit murky. Now, if you've done all this and you still feel unsure, then I've got something called Embodied Clarity, the Relationship Ambivalence Diagnostic Guide that will help you objectively assess the health of your relationship and really hear your own truth on whether to stay or leave. If you want to learn more, the link is in the description. At the end of the day, I don't want you living from a place of fear, urgency, or anxiety, focused on moving away from feelings. I want you to focus on moving towards forward moving, action, agency. I want you to build a life and relationship that lights you up, that you choose from a place of calm self-trust. Maybe it's in front of you, or behind you, or still undiscovered. But if you focus entirely on orienting towards the expansive and away from that which feels depletive and constricting, your life will unfold in magnificent ways. If you enjoyed this video and it felt expansive, make sure to subscribe and leave a comment. It helps to reach more people like you who need to know that they're not alone and who are working on becoming the best versions of themselves for their relationships. Thanks for watching. See you next time.